Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is ANNISA HASIBUAN. I'm from University of Muslim Nusantara, Medan. I would like to say thank you so much to Randi Rencanaka because he had made a discussion with Medan debaters. At the time, we had discussed about criminal justice system, what the meaning of criminal justice system, punishment, rehabilitation, and etc. And then what the types of criminal punishment I will share to you in this video. Check it out. Criminal justice. Criminal justice is the delivery of justice to those who have committed crimes. The criminal justice system is a series of government agencies and institutions. Goals include the rehabilitation of offenders, preventing other crimes, and moral support for victims. The primary institutions of criminal justice system are the police, prosecution, and defense lawyers, the courts, and prisons. The capacity to prevent criminal justice system action to prevent crime is a tertiary level prevention measure, or that is after offenses have occurred. It is conventionally seen as operating directly through deterrence, for example, the criminal law code and certain forms of policing. Incapacitation and rehabilitation, or that is courts and prisons, including probation and parole services, and directly through effects on socialization, for example, the promotion of social norms. The capacity of specific forms of policing to prevent and reduce crime is dealt with in other issues of all crime reduction measures. Courts and corrections are the focus in this issue. Recent interventions for reducing crime through the courts and prison systems can be classified into 6 categories. Number 1. Incapacitation, or depriving the offender of the capacity to commit crimes, usually through detention in prison. Number 2. Deterrence, or punishment that is so repugnant that neither the punished offender or specific deterrence nor others or general deterrence will commit the crime in the future. Number 3. Rehabilitation, or treatment directed toward changing the offender and thoroughly preventing future criminal behavior. Number 4. Community resilience, or the surveillance and supervision of offenders in the community in order to reduce their capacity and or opportunity for criminal activities. Number 5. Structure, discipline and challenge programs that use physically or mentally stressful experiences to change offenders in a positive way or deter them from later crime, or specific deterrence. The last one, combining rehabilitation and restraint to ensure that offenders make changes that are associated with a reduction in future criminal behavior. Punishment. Punishment, the infliction of some kind or pain or loss upon a person for a misdeed. Example, the transgression of a law or command. Punishment may take forms ranging from capital punishment, flogging, forced labor, and mutilation of the body to imprisonment and fines. Types of criminal punishment. Number 1. Retribution. This is one of the first forms of punishment. Essentially, the idea of an eye for an eye. Those who favor retribution believe it gives the victims of crime or society as a whole a sense of satisfaction knowing a criminal received the appropriate level of punishment for the crime committed. Lawmakers face the task of determining these appropriate levels of punishment, which can range from speeding ticket fine amounts to mandatory sentences for certain crimes. Number 2. Deterrence. Deterrence aims to prevent future crime and can focus on specific and general deterrence. Specific deterrence deal with making an individual less likely to commit a future crime because of fear of getting a similar or worse punishment. General deterrence refers to the impact on members of the public who become less likely to commit a crime after learning of the punishment another person experienced. Rehabilitation. Rehabilitation seeks to prevent future crime by altering a criminal's behavior. This typically includes offering a host of programs while in prison, including educational and vocational programs, treatment center placement, and mental health counseling. This approach also typically gives judges the flexibility to mix in rehabilitation programs as part of a criminal sentencing. The goal is to lower the rate of recidivism or people committing another crime after getting released from prison. Incapacitation. This is another ancient approach that remains popular. Incapacitation simply means removing a person from society. This includes incarceration, imprisonment, house arrest, and in its more dire form, execution. Many feel the flaw in this approach is that it doesn't address rehabilitation or recidivism, the latter of which tends to remain high in societies that practice incapacitation. Restoration. This new approach to criminal justice calls for the offender to make direct amends to the victim of their crime, as well as the community where the crime occurred. Judges use this approach mostly with juvenile offenders. In this approach, the criminal and the victim meet so that the offender can hear what the victim says about their experience with the crime committed. The offender then strives to make amends and seek forgiveness. 10 reasons to abolish the death penalty. Number 1, the state should have the power to take a person's life. Number 2, it is irrevocable. Number 3, it does not keep society safe. Number 4, it is unfair. Number 5, not all murder victims' families want the death penalty. Number 6, it inflicts more pain on the families of people on death row and executed. Number 7, it is inhuman, cruel, and degrading. Number 8, it is applied in violation of international standards. Number 9, it is inefficient. Number 10, it denies any possibility of rehabilitation for the criminal. Components of the criminal justice system. First, law enforcement. Police patrol communities to help prevent crimes, to investigate incidences of crime, and to arrest people suspected of committing crimes. Second, court system. The court system consists of attorneys, judges, and juries, as well as ancillary staff. The guilt or innocence of a suspect is determined in court. The last, correction system. The correction system incorporates all forms of sentencing and punishment. It includes incarceration and probation. So much because you had watched my video, and I think that's all enough Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.